We've handled multiplying, we've handled dividing, we've handled what happens if there's still a radical in the denominator after I divide. Addition and subtraction are next on the list. Now, when I'm adding and subtracting radicals, just like when I multiply and I divide, I have to pay attention to the fact that the index is actually the same, that I'm taking the same nth root. I have to pay attention to those same kinds of things here, only it's not just the index that's important. When we add and we subtract radicals, we need to have both the index and the radicand. So not only do we need the number out in the corner of the radical to be the same, but everything underneath needs to match in order for us to carry out this operation. Now, it may require some simplifying. At first glance, none of these radicands match. They all have an index of 2. Multiplication and division would be allowed to happen, but that's not what we're after. Addition and subtraction here. So I got to simplify each of these radicals and see if what I end up with happens to have the same radicand. Now, in each case, there is something that I can do to simplify these things. Five times the square root of 15 plus 3 times the square root of 4 times 15, which is 60. 540, which was 9 times 60, which 60 we just saw in the term before it is 4 times 15, so we say 9 times 4 times 15. We've got 2 perfect squares in there. And 75 is this 25 times 3. Now, evaluating each of those square roots of perfect squares, we can pull those values out front and multiply them by that other value. 5 root 15 plus 6, which is 3 times the square root of 4, or 3 times 2. Square root of 15 minus both the 9 and the 4. We can take the square root, so 2 times 3 is 6 times the square root of 15, plus 5 times the square root of 3. Now, some of those things can be combined, everything that has a root 15 on it. And the one on the end, there's really nothing that we can do. Again, index and radicand has to match. After that, it's treated like any other variable. 5 root 15 plus 6 root 15, it's 11 root 15. The same as 3x plus 2x would be 5x.